It's come to our attention that JPMorgan debanked Trump Media Group, a Florida-based company, right before the business went public. This is a crucial time for any company, a time where you cannot afford to lose your bank.
Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier announced his office has opened an investigation into JPMorgan Chase for allegedly debanking Trump Media and Technology Group right before its public listing last year. While coordinating with Special Counsel Jack Smith in the Biden DOJ's Operation Arctic Frost, JPMorgan debanked the Florida-based Trump Media Group, harming the company just before it went public, Uthmeier wrote on X.
Today, we've sent a letter and launched an investigation into JPMorgan Chase Bank after alarming revelations about their coordinated efforts with Jack Smith and the Department of Justice as part of the Biden administration's Operation Arctic Frost, where we now know Biden officials went after their political enemies. It's come to our attention that JPMorgan debanked Trump Media Group, a Florida-based company, right before the business went public. This is a crucial time for any company, a time where you cannot afford to lose your bank. In addition, we're aware that JPMorgan Bank solicited tons of information from Trump Media, unrelated to their business practices, and we believe provided sensitive banking information to the Department of Justice without real probable cause. This is wrong, we will not tolerate it, and we will hold them accountable. Here in Florida, we've passed legislation to protect our consumers from wrongful debanking, and we will stand by our consumers.
Led by former Representative Devin Nunes, Replit, California, TMTG went public in 2024 under the stock ticker DJT, the president's initials, but encountered major headwinds when JPMorgan Chase suddenly debanked it. During the Biden administration, companies in certain industries, like cryptocurrency, and those supporting conservative causes, like the Second Amendment, claimed they were deplatformed for political reasons. Bank lobby groups argued it was likely due to regulatory overreach in taking on so-called politically exposed persons as clients. In a quarterly filing, JPMorgan Chase revealed it is responding to requests from government authorities and other external parties regarding, among other things, the firm's policies and processes and the provision of services to customers and potential customers. JPMorgan claimed the probe is a response to Trump's executive order in August, demanding regulators look into policies that might have led to politicized or unlawful debanking. Earlier in August, Trump accused JPMorgan and Bank of America of rejecting more than $1 million of his deposits for political reasons, soon after he left the White House in 2021. Earlier, Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley, Repeller, Iowa, released 197 subpoenas that the Biden administration's FBI reportedly used to gather testimony and information on over 400 Republican targets as part of the agency's Arctic Frost probe.
Today, I started the investigation into Arctic Frost, July 2022, based on whistleblower disclosures. Based on these disclosures, we know that weaponized taxpayer-funded agents and prosecutors advanced the investigation. As Arctic Frost advanced, 92 Republican organizations or individuals were targeted, not just Trump, and they were added to its scope. And author of that targeting list was Special Agent Walter Giardino. He's the same weaponized agent who was involved in other cases against Republicans, including Peter Navarro. We've learned Jack Smith secretly obtained phone record data from at least 8 senators and 1 congressman. I've recently been informed by Verizon that at least 11 members with Verizon accounts were affected. That includes a hard line for Senator Cruz's office and a staffer cell phone for former Senator Loeffler. AT&T informed me they challenged the legal basis for Jack Smith's efforts, and Smith backed down. So today, we're making public new records that I've obtained through legally protected whistleblower disclosures. 197 subpoenas were issued by Jack Smith and his team. These subpoenas were issued to 34 individuals and 163 businesses, including financial institutions. And one of the points of contact on many of these subpoenas was that person I previously named, Special Agent Walter Giardino. The subpoena requested records and communications related to over 430 individual and organizations. All of them appear to be aimed at Republicans. A subpoena to Event Strategies requested records relating to Turning Point USA and the Republican Attorney General's Association. One subpoena to Apple sought records relating to Trump and the January 6th prison choir. Earlier this year, I obtained emails between and among J.P. Cooney, one of Jack Smith's prosecutors. That email exchange was March 2023 about a partisan news article on January 6th, and this is what Cooney said in the email. Can we do some work to nail down Trump's role in this, perhaps with the same process on Ed Henry's LLC, end quote. Just the next month, April 2023, Jack Smith and his team subpoenaed Apple for records relating to the very issue. A subpoena to an individual sought records and communications with, quote, any member, employee, or agent of the legislative branch of government, end of quote. Another subpoena to an individual sought records relating to communications with media companies such as CBS, Fox News, Fox Business, Newsmax, Sinclair, and others. Other subpoenas to a bank, individual, and businesses sought records relating to White House advisors Stephen Miller, Dan Scavino, Jared Kushner, and Lara Trump. Some subpoenas to individuals and businesses sought statistical data and analysis relating to donors and fundraising efforts. Arctic Frost was the vehicle by which FBI agents and DOJ prosecutors could improperly investigate the entire Republican political apparatus. Contrary to what Smith has said publicly, this was clearly a fishing expedition. If this had happened to Democrats, they'd be as rightly outraged as we are outraged. We're making these records public in the interest of transparency and so that the American people can draw their own conclusions. Senator Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. I want to thank the chairman. I want to thank his staff for their tenacity and their cooperation in all of our joint investigations. I think it's important to note that the records that we are now making public and for personal transparency were not obtained from the agency. They were obtained through a whistleblower. So my first point is we need more whistleblowers. We need people, men and women inside these agencies who have integrity, who want to see the integrity and credibility of the Department of Justice, of the FBI restored, come forward. Because right now I think Kash Patel, Pam Bondi are overwhelmed by all the messes they're trying to clean up. The agencies have been, lost a lot of personnel. People simply couldn't serve the Trump administration. It's hard to hire people because of all the lawfare. and there's still partisan actors burrowed in trying to sabotage their efforts. So we need whistleblowers. The reason they come forward to Chairman Grassley is because he's been such a champion of whistleblowers. So again, I thank him for that. What is revealed in those 1,700 pages of documents, in those 197 subpoenas, is nothing short of a Biden administration enemies list.